Hello, Swivel Heads. It's Greg Allison here with Swivel Head News. I wasn't going to go live this late, but there's news on developments of Russia firing cruise missiles toward Poland that apparently veered off just before they got to Poland and caused the Polish to scramble their jets. And a lot of people have been excited about this news and what it really means. And also Russian bombers flying in the air defense identification zone off the shore of Alaska. And the Alaskan National Guard apparently has been federalized and being sent to Texas. Guys, that's hard to swallow. A lot of stuff's going on. I wasn't going to do a cast tonight, but with this kind of news, I just decided I had to come in here. I'm going to open the chat room up, so who's in the chat room. And then we're going to just kind of look at the news real quick. We're not going to go so many articles as normal because it's so late. And I got other things I got to do, guys. So just hang on. We're going to go straight to the news. So who's in the chat room? Yeah, 10 people. That's what I get for coming in so late. But this news is just so breaking that I had to come on. So let's do the share. Bing, 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 bing. And here we are, guys. This is what we're talking about. I had to find some confirmation. So I've been hearing some stories about this, but getting the real skinny on it took a bit of time. Fighter jet scrambled after Russia unleashes missiles toward NATO border. And as you may know, that there is been a major missile attack onto Ukraine from Russia, including missiles falling into Kyiv, the capital city. So it's been a major onslaught there. But what happened here is that these missiles were fired, but they diverted, and some of them came down close to the Ukrainian border. But there were three. I don't know, these plane diagrams aren't right. Apparently, those aren't F-16s, but there were three F-16s that got marshaled and scrambled from the Polish side. So this is possibly a test from Russia just to see how NATO would react, or maybe it was a warning to NATO to be on their P's and Q's, because we got a major the largest NATO exercise since since the Cold War is going on right now, and will be going on through May. So there's a lot of opportunity for misinterpretation, for things to go awry when each side is testing each other like this. This sometimes how wars start, is through misinterpretation. So this is what's happening, guys. There's like I said, major bombardment. It's quite a crater into Ukraine, and these fighter jets from Poland were scrambled, but they didn't shoot down cruise missiles. Apparently, there was an older article. I'd seen some. There's another channel talking about 2 cruise missiles getting shot down. Well, that actually did happen apparently back in the 30th of December, according to some articles I saw. So it may be that some hairs are getting crossed here, some crosses are getting wired or something. I don't know. But anyway, the good news is that cruise missiles did not go into Poland, and that the Polish Air Force apparently didn't have to shoot them down. And things are getting very testing right now, very, very testy. Alaska Soul, I'm here, and hello, dog. Yeah, Alaska Soul, we need to, anybody we get from Alaska here tonight, we need to talk about a couple of these articles here, because I'm actually going to talk a little bit about one in particular here. U.S. detects Russian aircraft flying in Alaska Air Defense Identification Zone, which I mentioned earlier. That zone stretches 150 miles from U.S. coastline, but it also stretches into international water. So the Russian commander said, hey, we're doing this in accordance with law. What he said is the Russian aircraft remain in international airspace and do not enter American or Canadian sovereign airspace. Now, that's true. The identification zone does stretch out beyond that. So you just have to bear that in mind. But this is just more testing that the Russians are doing right now. So what it was these strategic bombers, these Tu-160 and Tu-95MS, long-range bombers, and the Tu-22, Tu-22M3. So they sent long-range bombers just off the coast of Alaska, basically. Again, they're testing They're testing the United States. Maybe they're testing NATO. Yeah, a lot of talk here about this whole thing going on with the Mayorkas impeachment. We'll go into that in a little bit too. So hang on, guys. Good to see you, Brandy, Michelle, Steffers, Jay, Alaska. So yeah, it's really late, guys. I don't normally want to start a video this late, but guys, with all this stuff going on, there's a couple specials you might want to consider, which are different than what you've normally been seeing. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, now the special is for a 1 year off, a 1 year food supply. It's $700 off. Now, I don't know if you can afford a 1 year supply. I mean, really and truly, right now you need a few years stacked away. This comes out to be actually a pretty good deal, because if you do the math, 199.88 divided by 12 months, that's only $167 a month. So if you can get a month's of food supply for under $166, guys, that's pretty amazing. That's a great price on this stuff if you can afford a package like this. If you can't, water purification is the best, one of your best deals. So you might want to consider this deal. You can get this Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system for only $279. Now, maybe you can afford that. If you can afford this, that is the best deal you're going to see on long-term food supply, price-wise, anywhere. It's 2,000 calories a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I think this is an excellent deal here. I think that this here is also an excellent deal. If you don't have water purification, you need to seriously think about it, because water is the one thing you don't survive, 3 days without. And compare it to the price here of Berkeley, $499. So I don't know, guys. When I bought my Pure system before I got involved with my Patriot Supply, I definitely it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I paid more money for that then than this is priced at now. So I think that's pretty interesting. You really might want to give that a hard look at. And if you're not interested in any of this stuff, just go into prepwithgreg.com, because if you're going from my site, that helps. You can go into my Patriot Supply store, clicking on this, and see a lot of other stuff. Anyway, guys, let's go on the rest of the news. Here we are. Alaska National Guard plan in deployment to U.S. border in Mexico, with Mexico. Now, this is they're being called up by the federal government. Now, I've heard earlier they were going to Texas specifically. Now, I don't know if that's the actual truth, if they're just going, they could be going in New Mexico, could be California. There's Arizona, there's other borders, but here they're talking about there where we've occupied Eagle Pass. We're talking about Eagle Pass in this article. I've heard other allegations that said that they were going to be marshaled to go to Texas against the Texas National Guard. I've seen other articles that claim they were going to support them. Now, what really strikes me odd about this, and that's why I'm glad we got some people that are in Alaska right now in the chat room, at least Alaska Soul. I hope we get Mag Rising in here tonight, but maybe a few other Alaskans. But what really strikes me about this is when I was in Alaska, which was nearly 40 years ago. Actually, it was 40 years ago. It was over 40 years ago. When I was in Alaska, Alaska was the most secessionist-oriented state in the Union. They were really, really a lot of people in Alaska chomping at the bit on the topic of secession way back then. So to see an Alaska now, and the governor of Alaska sided with the governor of Texas. So this is really odd. Now, what they're going to do there, I would seriously doubt that the National Guard from Alaska would take up a position directly against the Texas National Guard. I would hope not. The people I knew in Alaska when I was there definitely would not be party to that. And I knew a lot of people that were Alaska National Guard back in the day when I was up there, and they would not have at all have taken on a position against Texas in a situation like this. Not the people I knew. Now, I don't know, maybe things are different there, because I understand that that the people in Anchorage today aren't like they were back in the day I was there. There's been a lot of people from outside poured in, especially a lot of foreign nationals in the Anchorage area. And maybe some of these have joined the National Guard, and maybe they've changed nature of the force there. I don't know. But according to Major General Torrance Sachs of the Alaska National Guard, he said the Alaska Army National Guard has been notified by the National Guard Bureau, see, that's federal, that it is authorized to begin training in preparation for possible mobilization to support the federal Southwest Border Mission. And here it says early in fiscal 2025. So that's not immediate. It sounds like that would be like it could be like as early as September or somewhere, it might be even after election. I don't know. 20 people, no, the Alaska National Guard's got it's it's a fairly good sized guard. It's more than 20 people. Now I don't know, maybe they're talking about sending 20 people. I haven't seen that, but here it is. Yeah. The memorandum directs the Alaska National Guard General Support Aviation to be prepared to deploy two two of these LUH-72 Lakota helicopters and 20 guardsmen. Okay, so there you go, 20 guardsmen. So that's not a major force. Maybe that's something. What do you do with a helicopter? Maybe you're monitoring. Those aren't. I don't know. That's may have to look that up in a little bit. That's not a helicopter that I'm familiar with. So we'll check that out here in a little bit. But anyway, guys, so Greg lived there. Yes, he cares something Alaska. Okay. Thanks a bunch for covering Alaska news. Most don't even touch Alaska and what we're going on there. Hell, I lived in Alaska 2 years. Still got a dear spot in my heart. Great state. Got a lot of good people up in Alaska. Alaska is hard. It takes hard people to survive in an environment like that. I remember some of the back in the days when I used to watch some of the reality TV. They like Alaska was real popular, and I remember one of the guys in particular saying, Alaska's hard. Alaska's tough. Well, that's absolutely true. It is. It is way different than anything down here. So it takes a special rugged sort to live out there in the outback of Alaska, to live in north of the Alaska Range, particularly anywhere in Alaska. You got to be a hardy soul to take that on. Let's see what Stefford said. Live there. Yes, he cares about. Yeah, I do, Stefford. I do definitely care about Alaska. Great state. Love the place. So that's something to consider, folks. So let's go in here and look at a few more of these articles here. But I have a hard time thinking the Alaska National Guard would take a position against the Texas National Guard. So we'll just see how that turns out. But like I said, if they're drawing people from newer units that are populated from folks in Anchorage, out of Anchorage, it might be different because urban folks are different than rural folks. I imagine the folks in Anchorage are different than the folks that live out in the wilderness, which most of Alaska is wilderness. Most guys, if you fly over Alaska, you can fly for a long time and not see any signs of human civilization whatsoever. Most of Alaska is just wilderness everywhere. Wilderness, pure wilderness. It is remote. If you would be driving the Alaska highway, you could drive for miles, long distances, not even get a radio station. You'll be driving miles on, they're not just a couple, three major highways up there, and they don't go very far. They go up to Fairbanks, and there's the Haul Road. We used to call it, what's the name of it now? It's got another name for it, the one that goes up to Prudhoe Bay. We called it the Haul Road back in the day. It's got another name now. It's I can't think of it off the top of the bat. Maybe Alaska will tell me here, Alaska Soul. But the it wasn't any, no accommodations. You used to have to take your own gas on that road. Now maybe they got more accommodations going up that road now. Like I said, they renamed it. But that's the only road going north. Much above Fairbanks, and you had a road. Come the Alaska Highway went up to Fairbanks. You had the Richardson Highway and one other highway that went down toward Anchorage. There's only a couple of highways went down toward Anchorage from the Richardson went down from the Delta Junction Fort Greely area, and there was another that went straight from Fairbanks to Anchorage back in the day. And you can be driving along these are the major highways, like the only major highway is in 1,000 miles. And you'd be driving these highways and you wouldn't see a mailbox or a fence post or anything. I mean, you'd see nothing. You'd be in the wilderness. No radio stations, trees. Now, there might be some power lines. The power lines, because of the permafrost, though, instead of the poles sticking straight up, they would angle them against each other. And the tension in the wire would keep them from flipping over that way if they had them angled out against each other. Because you could pave a road straight in Alaska. You could do it straight. And you come back and no time later, a few years later, and that road looks like a snake going back and forth and up and down because the ground underneath is permafrost and it moves. So it's nothing like anything you might experience here in the lower 48. Come join us in Discord for live updates. Also, when Greg goes live, we have voice channels for all the talk and message channels. There you go. Yeah, they're posting a lot of good stuff on there. I'm not going to go in there tonight because I'm just going to do this and stop. But because it's late and I still got to take out garbage. It's 3:15 in the morning here. Yeah, but there is the Discord channel, guys. Check it out. And we'll be building that Discord channel up. We got a lot, the mods have been working on Alaska Soul, New Days, I guess. Michelle, a lot of them have been doing a lot of development in there, and I appreciate that. Salute to all of them for all the work that they're doing in there. And let's see, and quite a few other mods have been working on it too. The Pagan Prepper and some others. Quite a few of them have been active, populating and building that site. They've done a lot of work there, so I appreciate that. So, guys, this is I don't know what this means. What's to come of it? I haven't heard directly this was a kind of federalization that a lot of people have been calling for. So we'll see what it means, where it's going. But just in case you're really wondering about the immigration stuff, this is an article talking here about how Maduro, the dictator that runs Venezuela, has been working with Daniel Ortega, of Nicaragua, and the communist regime in Cuba to send a lot of what they're sending up is Cubans. They're sending a lot of their people up intentionally. Hey, Rodney, salute to you. Thank you. And I will have a sip of coffee on that. Rodney, salute. Appreciate that, sir. Anyway, guys, so yeah, Rodney's active in the Discord chat room too, guys. So we'll be able to do live chat and maybe some stuff. Maybe we'll have some conversations there that we can't have on this platform in the real near future. I still got to really learn how to use it. I'm still a novice over there, and I don't even know how to get out of it right or navigate it very well. They got a lot of stuff in there. So anyway, guys, so this is a lot of, who knows what's coming across that border, guys? Who knows what's coming across that border? I had another article I wanted to share on that. Some discussion on it. I guess I didn't pull it up because I was in a hurry to get out here and do a broadcast tonight. I didn't get to populate things the way I normally do. I wasn't actually planning to come on here tonight until, I started hearing about the incidents over in Poland, and of course the bombers off the coast of Alaska, and this whole thing with Alaska National Guard. So as you know, Congress has been looking to try to strip Texas of their powers, and that where they couldn't even appeal the things that the administration was doing in federal court. Hey, Steffers, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Love you too. All right, guys. So this is was part of that border security bill. Now, maybe that bill is probably dead, so they may try to slip this kind of stuff in otherwise. So we got to be really, really mindful of what's going on here, what's getting slipped in legislatively. Now, as you might know, there was impeachment up for Mayorkas, who was the head of the Department of Homeland Insecurity that was supposed to be maintaining our border, and who couldn't answer when being grilled by Jim Jordan in the House a few months ago, like what happened to certain people on the terrorist watch list that got released. He couldn't answer questions about that, very basic questions, which incensed Jim Jordan. And so they had to impeach him for it. But it failed because 4 Republicans flipped and voted against impeaching him. Well, we know who they are. Representative Ken Buck from Colorado, Representative Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin, Representative Tom McClintock from California, and Representative Blake Moore from Utah. I hardly believe somebody from Utah would have voted that way. Wow. In any event, guys, if any of these guys are your Congress critter, you might want to give them a talking to. You might want to reach out to them. The best way to do that is go to here to the website that I put up and finance out of my own pocket. Freedom Restoration Foundation. We may put this on Discord as have an entire section for this on Discord. I think that would be a good thing to do. So go here, click Action Center. Scroll past all these old alerts, which need to be updated. Scroll past them because those are all old alerts. I don't have my webmaster running yet on this stuff. But scroll down here at the bottom. It tells you how to track bills at the national level, at state level, how to contact state legislators from their websites, how to find out who your representatives are in Congress, just in case you don't know. And there's information about how to contact them. Specifically, you can call this switchboard number right here. Just call it. And if you don't know who your representative is yet, they can direct you to the right place usually, especially from Senate. But when you call this number, you press 1 for Senate and 2 for the House of Representatives. So you can find out who your senator is here. This tells you about sending emails, calling and writing, what to write, what to say on the telephone. And here's a list of all those websites again, both federal and state. So check it out. There we go. You might want to, so if one of these guys is your representative, you might want to contact them. Just something to think about. In any event, just in case you're wondering, there's a whole lot of discussion now about Iran getting to the point of getting the bomb. And this is something even the U.S., even the Biden administration said it wouldn't be allowed to happen. So, guys, this is the point, the threshold that Netanyahu was talking about when he was saying he wouldn't permit it. So this could be the thing that would instigate an attack, or maybe all this hype we're hearing in the media is to prep people for the idea that there might be an Israeli, maybe an American-Israeli joint attack directly on Iran. As you know, Jake Sullivan wouldn't rule out attacking Iran. And they might do it for this reason, aside from all the proxy operations that's been going on. But Iran is not a country to take lightly. They've got 3,000 missiles that's got a pretty good range on them, guys. 3,000 tactical missiles that they can reach out into the Indian Ocean with even. So that's quite a missile force. 3,000. That's what they got on their hands. As you know, they've been sending missiles to the Houthis in Yemen down here, and even to Venezuela. So you have to think about that, guys. So we may be getting into it, but Iran is not a trivial nation to attack. It's twice as big as Texas, at least, maybe bigger than that. Iran is huge, and it's mountainous. and they have a huge military. It's not like we could go in and put boots on the ground there, anything more than maybe a special ops group to go in and out. Special forces might be able to get in and out, but regular military invasion, occupation in Iran, we're not up to that right now. We just don't have the forces or anything in play that could do that. That would be a major, major war. That'd be like the scale of going after Germany in World War II, because the Iranian forces are huge, and ours are spread thin. We're spread all over the world. And anyway, like I've been saying, this thing with the Houthis and the proxies there, they just keep going here. This is despite U.S. airstrikes, Iran continues to arm its proxies. So even though they're saying, oh, it's nothing to it, it's not us, they still are sending them armaments because they seem to like what they're doing. Despite claims, oh, we don't control them. Well, they give them money, training, and send them weapons. We shouldn't be over there in harm's way in the first place, is my basic claim on that. But Houthis claim fresh attacks on British and U.S. ships in the Red Sea. Guys, this is still going on. This is like a daily, I can tell you this is going to be in the news every day before I wake up. This has been in the last, over a week or two, this has been a daily occurrence. They shoot at our forces, and we're shooting back. It's not going to end. As long as Iran supplies them, it's not going to end unless we go in and put boots on the ground and take them over completely. I don't see that happening either. So this is just not going to end, not anytime soon. Maybe if the Israeli war ends, they might stop. But I don't know, guys. So like I said, Russia is pounding Ukraine right now, just pounding them with missile strikes. And, of course, the Houthi rebels fire missiles at U.S. and British ships in the Red Sea. There's another article claiming this outside the Houthis' claims of that nature. So 3 of the missiles were targeting the MV Star Nasha, Marshall Islands flagged ship, and a Greek-owned bulk carrier, the Gulf of Aden. What's that got to do with Israel? I don't know. Now, if y'all hadn't heard about it, the biggest thing I've been seeing in the news lately is this interview between Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin, which apparently has already occurred and will be posted on Tucker Carlson's website and probably on the platform known as X, formerly known as Twitter. But apparently a lot of the American news sources want to ban Carlson from coming back in the United States. And Musk is condemning that. And this is from the Russian news agency TASS. So, yeah, we're going a little bit afield. We're showing different things here. We only got 43 thumbs up. Yeah, guys, thank you, Jason, for pointing that out. Folks, if you're in here, please give a thumbs up. We need all the help we can get in that department. So, guys, this is the biggest news right now. And a lot of the news services, they're really talking about this interview because the regular news media in the United States wouldn't do it, and they wouldn't have allowed Tucker to go over there if he was still working for them. But now he's independent, so he can do a few more things. He's just wanting to get another side to it. Now, he's actually offered and requested an interview with Volodymyr Zelensky. That's probably not happening. Well, who knows? Maybe Zelensky will bolded up and talk to him. We'll have to see. He left out the text, man. I'll get with the chat here in a little bit, because we're going to go through these articles a lot faster, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the weather today. Now, this is from Sputnik, and they're talking about Russia, NATO slowdown. Now, Sputnik is a Russian news media source. So it's worth listening to what they had to say here. The Western Alliance, talking about NATO, continues to maintain that it is not a party to the conflict in Ukraine, despite revelations in the Pentagon leaks that in addition to training, intelligence support, and tens of billions worth of advanced weaponry, several NATO countries actually have special forces boots on the ground. Moscow considers the crisis in Ukraine a proxy war between itself and the Western Alliance, emphasizing that the conflict would end immediately if Washington and its allies ended their military support for Kyiv, and it wouldn't have started at all if NATO had respected Russia's security concerns in the first place. Stepfords, salute to you. Thank you. Another super chat. I am most appreciative. Just a thumb of support. Yes, I really appreciate that. Thank you. So, guys, this is it. You see, Russia considers that they're already in a proxy war with NATO. Well, why wouldn't they? What else is it? I don't know, guys. So a lot of questions here. More money going to Ukraine than goes to the yearly budget of the Marine Corps. Yeah, we're shoveling money at Ukraine, guys, and armaments. And we're running low on armaments. And we may be facing Iran. We may be facing North Korea. We may be facing China. We are in a pickle. So we need to consider what we're doing in this pickle. So here we go. And Israel is on the brink of going into it with Lebanon and Hezbollah. Of course, this is another Russian news source here. And here's a source claiming that, make no mistake about it, a new civil war is a very real prospect in the United States. I'm not going to read all this to you. Maybe I'll come back to this article in the future and go a little bit more in depth on it. But because it's so late tonight, I'm not going to do that tonight. Just giving y'all a heads up to this, that there's a lot of good points made in this article. Actually, I hope we don't have a civil war. It's the last thing we want. But the tensions in this country are off the charts. Just put it that way. And here's from the Greek source, War News 24/7. They're talking about these missiles that Russia's getting from North Korea, and are saying are just as accurate and efficient as the Russian missiles. What they're saying here is highly accurate and highly efficient. Now, if we get into it with North Korea, that's something to think about. You know, they've got some very powerful, highly accurate missiles, not to mention just untold artillery. I mean, just artillery shells alone are enough to flatten Seoul, South Korea. So Pyongyang has really got a lot of stuff here, guys. So war with North Korea may not be a cakewalk. Let's just put it mild, especially if they have nuclear weapons now. That's just going to come up. This is about a mushroom cloud. Look at this mushroom cloud here, guys. This is in China at a chemical factory. So I'm going to play part of this. Look at that fire in there. That's a huge mushroom. I don't want to play the whole thing. I can't do that because that's Reuters. But just to show y'all an idea here, guys, was that an accident, or is there covert activity going on? What is happening here? Is that an accident, or was that some covert activity? Who might have caused that? I mean, there's so many things going on in the world right now. Like, for some reason, chickens have suddenly become very combustible here in the South, especially in Texas. You know, we've had several chicken farms and chicken plants that are just blown up because chickens are like gasoline, I suppose, all of a sudden. I don't know what caused that. So, you tell me. Biden crowd, anyway. Oh, yeah. Biden, he's got special powers. He sees dead people. Maybe he's getting special advice. He sees dead people. So he just told a crowd that he recently met with Mitterrand. And Mitterrand passed away back in 1996. So, maybe he did. Like I said, maybe he's got special powers. He sees dead people. What else does he see? And this guy, it's scary. This guy's got his hand on a big red button, guys. Yikes. He sees dead people. Yikes. Anywho. All right, this is another little article about Poland scrambling aircraft due to the Russian missile attack on Ukraine. Let's see, this has got the map in it. No, this one don't have the map in it. So just it's kind of a repeat of what I showed you guys earlier. Apparently the missiles, if you're just joining us, there were a couple missiles fired from Russia right toward the Ukraine. They were going toward Poland, and they turned back, and Poland scrambled 3 F-16s. So the tensions are getting off the charts. Russians are probably testing NATO, and that with the four or five bombers they were flying off the coast of Alaska. Yeah, they're testing us right now. Of course, they've done that in the past, but they're really seem to be up in the ante a little bit right now. This is kind of a funny article. I just wanted to show you this. Society one step closer to dystopia. And this whole thing here is about people wearing these Apple Pro Vision glasses while driving. Especially, it seems that people driving Teslas seem to be more inclined to do this, because this guy's in a Tesla car. Here's somebody in a Tesla truck driving down the road. Now look at her hands there, up in the air, doing whatever she's supposed to be doing in virtual reality, I guess. Not on the steering wheel. Is she paying attention to where the car is going? Is it in autopilot? Or this truck? I don't know, guys. So this guy here, now he's actually got the camera on. He got pulled over. Or here, this guy. Yeah, he's using his hands, typing in the air. Wow. He got pulled over, by the way, which is good. I don't know what happened to him after he got pulled over. Here's people walking around in the street. In that case, riding some kind of board in the street. With this on their head, virtual reality. Walking with virtual reality. Wow, guys. Can you believe it? There's somebody at a sports event just walking around with that on. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Reality and virtual reality are blurring. And Homer Simpson's, of course, predicted it. The Simpsons predicted it. Oh, these people with flipper kids and houses that busted into flames during the recharge cycle. I don't know if I can play much of this, because this is a cartoon. It's probably get a hit if I played any of that. But guys, yeah, it shows people walking around, walking, falling in manholes, and oh yeah, at the end of it, it's got Homer and Marge kissing in virtual reality, because in reality they're laying in the bed flat back on their backs, laying together in bed, kissing in virtual reality instead of really kissing. And that's an indictment on the whole thing. Instead of really kissing, they're doing it in virtual reality, laying flat on their back beside each other in bed. Oh my gosh. All righty, earthquakes. Well, we got a couple fresh ones in Alaska, small ones. Cantwell, Alaska, 2.5. This one's down here in Ekiat. I don't know how you pronounce that. And we got a couple over in here. And Wallach. Oops, what's that one? El Neva, how you say it. And we got one here, looks like it's on the San Andres down in Mexico, and the Gulf of Mexico. What do we call that? Not Gulf of Mexico. What is it? Gulf of California, excuse me. This is Gulf of Mexico. Hey, it's late, guys. And we got one here, 5.0, and still in El Salvador. Let's scan out a little bit. Well, you can always bet in. Oh, yeah. Kuril Islands, Russia, which Japan says is theirs. There's a 5.1 in Japan. Philippines got a couple of 5.3 there and a 5.1 there, a couple of big ones in the Philippines. Solomon Islands, a 5.0. Oh, we got one over here in the Xinjiang district of China again, looks like. No, that's in Kyrgyzstan. Okay. Kyrgyzstan. Oh, I can see on this map. Yeah. All right. It's hard to see it from what I was looking at there. Wow. This one here is Greece, 4.2. And down here, where a lot of tension's at right now in Djibouti, 4.4. Yeah, that's the name of the country, Djibouti. Watch your booty. All right, a full halo explosion on the far side of the sun. Look, major CME occurred on the other side of the sun. Lucky for us over there. We got a big sunspot we're looking at here. That's a huge sunspot complex. Look at that tail coming around. Well, it looks a whole lot like the one that kicked off the Carrington event. Yikes. Sunspot 3576. Let's hope it's not that eventful. That's a big sunspot complex turning toward Earth. So that's something to think about. So if we look at the aurora map here, we can say the day-night line is heading toward the East Coast. Looks like we got some intense auroras up here in Alaska. Excuse me. I don't know how well you'd see them down around the Anchorage area, but definitely if you're up at Fort Greely or Fairbanks, you'd could see those, I suppose. I've seen a lot of auroras when I was up there. That's the near misses that's coming to Earth. And here's a list of them. Nothing dark red. We here are now on the 7th. So there's nothing. Thank you, Rodney. Nothing coming too close to us. That's a good thing. Nothing coming between the Earth and the Moon that's on this chart. Nothing that we know of coming between the Earth and the Moon real soon. And this goes to April the 4th. So, but there's always those that we just discover. Temperature charts. See, we were below, we went above, now we're below, or kind of close to the line. Yeah, the news media always harps when we're here, and they don't say nothing when you're there. Anywho. Cosmic rays are way down. And weather. A lot of snow out west, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. Temperature is not too bad. 40s, low 30s up in here. 30s back there. 14 in Reno. Reno seems to be a cold spot for now. New Days is not in the house, but we'll check out. Hey, Colorado Jen. What's the weather like in your knothole? Okay, 12 degrees up there. Okay, I thought we might see similar temperatures as Reno. Hunts Patch is 35. I'm not going to go into great detail here, guys. It is late. Show Low got snow, but they're 34 degrees. I think that is just south of Snowflake. It is. St. John's looks like it's got snow coming to it. Rainy in the house. We got snow all over Utah. Western Colorado. Alberta, where Arnold Smith's from. And northern, let's see. Low temperature performance is definitely going to be an issue on the Martian surface, but remember, Elon has to hire orbital engineering solutions where we fix the problem. Okay. All right, Oklahoma. Oh, you're decent in Oklahoma, 50s and 46 up there. It's Tulsa a lot. Wow. Tulsa, 46. Fayetteville, Arkansas, 48. Fort Smith, 44. Heber Springs is 39. Little Rock's 39. As you go south and east, it's cooler. It's actually cooler here, 35. So we're on par with Holbrook is actually warmer. We're on par with Snowflake is warmer right now than Huntsville. By only a couple degrees. Tucson's 50. Phoenix is 50. Those are down in the oven. That's the oven, what they call a valley. In Arizona, everything down here is called a valley. They got this more, what do you call that? More going, shit, I can't even say it right now. There's a kind of a ridge through here. Anyway, folks, so we'll do a quick down under. It's summertime when you get down here. Become minister making it rain for the Super Bowl. Yeah, got a lot of rain in the Australian desert in the outback. Weepaw 82. That's pretty typical temperature for Weepaw. Alice Springs is kind of cool at 86. Birdsville 82. I'm not seeing the super hot temperatures. Maybe if I scrolled in, I'd see some. Canberra, the capital city, is 64. Sydney 70. Melbourne 66. But over here, Perth is 93. It's warmer right there. Warburton 93. Hobart, Tasmania 59. 55 down in Dundee and 60 through the rest of New Zealand. '70s and 80s in Indonesia. 80s in the Philippines, which is pretty typical. A lot of snow in China. Kind of warm in Siberia right now, 34 there. So we're seeing crazy temperatures. No, not too bad. Minus 33 over here, minus 40. Okay, we got a minus 40 in Siberia. Siberia don't disappoint you too much in cold weather. Moscow will snow at 14. So Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin got some snow. Lukashenko got no snow. It's 35. Kyiv is warm at 46. Might be maybe that missile attack warmed it up. I don't know. Nah, they didn't do that. But look here. Norway, 30. Oslo, 30 here and 10 in Oslo, the capital. 25 over here, though. A lot of temperature differences. England, 34 in Hull, 41 in London. Ireland's 35 and 36 in Scotland. Glasgow and Inverness are both 32. All right. It's wintertime still, but we're getting toward, we're getting a little bit later in the winter. It's not January. Days are getting longer. That's good news. All right. Enough of that. Stop the share. Oh, yeah, I was going to look for that helicopter so I can find it. Let's see if I still got it in my cut and paste or go to Wikipedia so I can find a helicopter. Yes. All right, let's go back to do another screen share. Find my right button for that again. Screen share, bada bing, bada bang. Boom, there it is. Eurocopter. Why has our National Guard got a Eurocopter? That's why I didn't know that one. UH-72. Here it is, guys. Not much of a combat helicopter. Might be used for monitoring. This one looks like it's used for medics. Maybe for, so why would they want these in the border? I don't know. Two of these. Maybe it's to monitor things. It's not a combat helicopter. So if you can man two of these with 20 people, that's pretty good. There's a lot of maintenance hours on the ground for every flight hour. We used to say it took 20 hours of maintenance with a helicopter for every hour in the air. I don't know where we're at on that now. They're using these for trainers. Proposed uses. Training. All right, so speed and range and longer time. Good crash worthiness, night vision. All right, that's for monitoring. Cheaper to operate. Okay. That's why some of the guard units got them. Yeah, that's not a combat helicopter to speak of. There's another one used for medical purposes. I show a medevac. So what are they expecting? Why are they sending these to the border? I don't know, guys. You tell me. What do y'all think? Anybody here got an idea why they're sending these to the border? Stop share. Halo. Been here almost an hour. I don't know why those are going to the border. We're going to end in a little bit. I still got a bunch of things I got to do before we go to bed, before I go to bed. Take my nap for the night. Hey, thank you, Alaska Soul, for sharing all those things. Rodney, thank you. Appreciate you. That's what mods do, is share links and support the channel. I appreciate that, guys. Let me scroll back up top, see what some of the chats are I missed. Arnold says, so by nationalized Alaska National Guard and moving to Texas, this now weakens the protection of Alaska. Oh, yeah. Alaska, we don't have much Coast Guard in the United States. The United States Coast Guard is small. And the Alaska territory, it really should have a lot of Coast Guard contingencies up there. It's huge. There's more coastline in Alaska than there's the rest of the United States. And it's closer to Russia and China. So, and we had those Russian and China, we had a joint Russian China naval exercise that was off the coast of Alaska. So we definitely need more Coast Guard in Alaska. Alaskans, because they're also close to Russia, need National Guard on the spot. And in Alaska, because of the temperatures that they have to deal with up there, they need National Guard to be available for emergencies. So to be sending an Alaska National Guard anywhere else is kind of strange. So I don't know. The whole thing is rather fishy. So all right, let's see. Oh, all right, Brandy, let's see what's going on with your knee here. Can sleep better, can't squat. Oh. Yeah, there's 120 people in Alaska National Guard. That's just all they're sending. Let's see here. Proper mad thinking to even think of sent. Yep. Yeah, it's just nuts. Thank you, Alaska Soul, for putting it on the server there. Greg, you could buy XM radio so you can listen to Howard Stern. Well, is he still active? I hadn't heard from him in a long time. Well, I don't want to listen to Howard Stern, by the way. Oh, if you're in Alaska. Yeah. XM radio. That'd be on the radio you'd get a lot of places up there. Now, we did have a radio station at Fort Greely, which when I was up there was the only one around, Alaska Armed Forces Radio Network. And I was actually a guest on that radio station a few times. So I started the North Star L5 Society, a space group, a local chapter of what then was the L5 Society. It's now the National Space Society. The North Star L5 Society. Never had sheep milk, but it's supposed to taste really good, huh? That's interesting. Well, people milk goats and make, feta cheese. I imagine sheep would be very similar. I have sheep and goats. Goats are much easier to milk. I guess that's why people milk goats. Whoops, 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 whoops. I'm going to take action on stuff. Left out tax man. Let's see what they say here. But all the jobs that help employees devoted toward getting their money. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Pretty amazing, Larry. That's just a big sign that the bureaucracy is way overbloated. Oh, Smurf, hey, Ashley, good to see you. It's in jamming. There he is. Hang on, guys. All right, Zinjamin, you've been smurfed. Hadn't seen you in a while, Ashley. Where you been? All going in their pockets. That's right, Sailor Spirit. That's why they probably don't want too much to do with the T-Man. Because he's talking about cutting a lot of that out. That's probably why they're so vigilant against him. My audio went out. See if anybody else says that. I hope they let him back in. That would be quite a travesty if they don't. Whoops. Well, I guess y'all can hear me because that Colorado Jan and a couple of them said bless me when I sneezed. Rodney. So I guess my audio's not out. Y'all heard me sneezing. Snow due in Britain over the next few days. Are you in Britain, John? All right. I don't even know when the Super Bowl is. I don't keep up with that stuff. I don't care anything about it. 34 in Florida. Wow. Raining in Gilbert, Arizona. Hey, Sub-Zero. I guess you're not Sub-Zero right now if it's raining there. All right. Warm air coming up from the Gulf tells me that spring thaw we have up here is going to continue for another week. Wow, that's good. And it might get cold again. All right, let's see. Check out 123 home free nomadic dairy sheep. Nomadic dairy shepherd. Okay. 123 home free. Sorry for scaring you on the computer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tried to get out of I thought I was out of I didn't realize it when I went into Discord the last time. I must have hit one of the little channel buttons that's audio. I didn't know I did that. And then the only way I know to get out of the thing is to click the X on it. And I went to bed for my short little nap. Got in the bed under the covers, and suddenly I hear blah, 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 real loud from downstairs. What the heck is that? I grabbed my big old nug, one of my big ones. And I come running downstairs. It was cold, and I don't sleep with clothes on, guys, and I didn't waste time to put clothes on. And if you got to do combat, you got to be ready to jump. I come running downstairs, and it was Discord. One reason I'm not going in there tonight, I don't want to accidentally do something. My short little time going to bed here shortly and get started up again. But yeah, I was ready. Yeah, I'm the guy who, I'll go outside, walk around my house if I hear something outside anytime, any hour. And I carry my pet nugs with me. And they're well fed, by the way. They got their kibbles. It's pretty obvious YouTube doesn't notify us on this channel. Zen, the platform is bad about that when it comes to me. That's why I need y'all's help. Super Bowl is always on the Sundays. If this coming Sunday, I don't know. So, yeah, Green Country Agroforestry is independent. I'm sleeping with me boots on. There you go. Both eyes open. So you're asleep right now with your boots on and both eyes open in the chat room. That's a good way to sleep. Okay, I disconnected you. Yep. That's the last thing I heard when I was coming in the room. Is you disconnected. That's a Discord. But it was pretty loud. I work for the day when human beings assume responsibility for themselves as adults and live fulfilling lives as optimized natural beings. It doesn't pay much. Salute the Green Country Agroforestry. Thank you, Jason Neighbors. Man, I'm completely blind in one eye. Okay, John. All right, guys, we've been on here for 61 minutes. It is really late. I started really late. My apologies for that, but I wasn't even going to do a show tonight because I was so late trying to put stuff together. It's taking so long. I just about decided not to. I started coming up with missiles headed toward NATO territory and the Polish Air Force getting mobilized. And it's like, okay, there's a lot of chatter about that. A lot of people left some comments to me about it and were emailing me on it. So I started looking for what was going on there. And it took me a bit to find anything. Some people were reporting that the Poles had shot down two of the cruise missiles. Apparently that didn't happen. But apparently there was an article about that from 30 December. I did find that. So it could be, like I said, maybe some crosses got wired. All righty, folks. We're about to go. Everybody tell us where you're from. Super Bowl is Sunday, February 11th. February 11th. So that's this Sunday. Okay. All righty. Everybody going to watch what's her name? Taylor Swift. I don't know. I personally think that given how woke that the NFL's gotten, I don't care anything about them. I might watch a college game every now and then if it's like Alabama versus Auburn, or if Alabama's going for a championship. That's about all I ever watch. Sliders Creek, my dog's kickoff. Okay, you got a good alarm system there. Larry says preppers need to know when the big games are. It could be, yeah. Now there's been a lot of discussion that might be when somebody would put a hit on the United States right there at the Super Bowl. So many people being there, that would be a major T-type operation of the worst, the really bad kind. John Johnson Discord, guys. Great news, live updates. Greg going live. We have voice chats. There you go. Yeah, Discord is going to be a cranking place here. So check it out. Check out the links that have been shared there. Greg, the studio still has stuff to pack. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to pack up. I got a lot to do, guys. I have a lot to do. I'm still working on 1099 forms. A couple of people, I don't have their latest addresses, and one of them I don't have his Social Security number I need to file on him. I didn't realize he'd made over $600, so I got to do a 1099 on him. I didn't intend to hire him for that much, but I accidentally did. Care about football. I hear you. I'm not much into sports. I think it's big distraction for the most part. Taylor Swift guys, that's about all you see at the Super Bowl. It's that kind of show. So that kind of show, unfortunately, that's why I don't care too much about it. Part. All righty, now we got folks telling me where they're from. Yeah, roll where you're from. Greta Dice is York, Pennsylvania. Larry Smith, Nanny Anderson, Louisiana. We got Chile, Carolina, where you're either up early or hadn't gone to bed. In South Sea, Australia. All right, John Baxter, love you all. I've got a yard to clean. Yeah, daylight. I guess where in the UK are you at, John? South Carolina, VidCom. Football is your religion. Okay, Larry. Sports these days is gone. Yeah, it's too woke, too political. All right. Bella Vista, Arkansas. Michelle. Hey, we got England in the house with Shill Maiden. Good to see you, Shill Maiden. Land of Kangaroos. Okay, Rodney. Moon, Alaska. I'm on top of the world. Okay, Alaska Soul. Moon, Alaska. I used to see them. I could see some of the rockets launched from Poker Flats, even down at Fort Greely. You just see the little puffs where they set off those cesium explosions, make a miniature aurora. It probably looked really impressive in the Fairbanks area, but Fort Greely were just little puffs just over the horizon. But I'd see them. I'd watch for them. West Cliff, Colorado. Hey, Zen Gemmin. All right. Naturita, I hope I'm saying it close to Colorado. Jan. Leicester, England. John, okay, all right. England. Elmers is Missouri. We got Colorado, West Cliff, Zen Gemmin. Arnold, injuries will decide the game. Man, that's pretty typical. Kentucky ready. North Central Kentucky. All right. You're probably a lot closer to me than the Gulf Coast is. Probably closer than Montgomery even. Attacking after the camp was hung over, a key factor in Washington's Delaware. Yeah, he hit them on Christmas when after they'd all been drunk and asleep. It gave him an edge. I was always worried when I was in the Army that I'd watch all these people go home for Christmas, and I thought, wow, what if the Ruskies attacked us now? That's what I used to always think. Everybody's gone home for the holidays, all the troops, lots of them. Drop bears. All righty, folks. My ship was based in South Carolina. Okay. Well, I did basic training AIT at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. In fact, I went to the Capitol there in Columbia. I saw that Capitol building before I went to the Capitol building in Montgomery. Even though I joined the Army in an Air Force base in Montgomery, Maxwell Air Force Base. I joined the Army in an Air Force base. Maxwell Air Force Base. Isn't that funny? That's where I went Army. Anywho. Yep, and actually it was I think Muscle Man have gone well quiet here. I don't know. So back the woman doctor to tell us all to cough was rumored to be you went in, if you know, if you've been in the military, when they tell you to cough, you know what I'm talking about. Supposedly that was also George Wallace's doctor. South Carolina coast was pretty. Oh yeah, I've been to the coast there, and in North Carolina, went around Newbern. There's a old fort from the war between the states out there, pretty close to Newbern. May God bless you all there. Hard times to come, so please be safe and smart. Yeah, guys, posted a video on Green Greg's on martial law and national emergencies. Watch that if you haven't seen it already. One point I didn't make in there that I meant to talk about was that one of the provisions is that they can conscript people to make you work. in a national emergency. They can force you to farm or work in a kitchen or work on a road or whatever they think you can do. They can actually take people and make you perform labor. So then take your stuff and then take you too. Isn't that scary? Anyway, so, okay. You watched that video? Okay, well, thank you, Gabby. Yeah, if y'all not watched it, watch it. But here's the other thing. It's like, someone just commented, hey, I didn't get any notifications. I'm not getting notifications. That's what this platform is doing to me. They're not sending out notifications. When I was up to about my second year, this channel was growing really fast, and I got more views back then than I get today. I guess that's before they decided to shadow ban me. That's before I started talking news so much as I do today. And man, they just put things changed rapidly. So the best thing y'all can do is share my videos. Share them far and wide. Click the share button. Share them with your friends on social media wherever you can. Let's get the word out, guys. Help my channel overcome the resistance we're getting from YT. And they're demonetizing almost everything I do live. So that's why I'm glad to have super chats, guys. How big is the 366 big block going to roadworthy? 366. I got 318 in the van that's still stranded down in Houston. Here I've got a 454 in my 1-ton truck. That's a big engine. I actually drove it today. It's the only thing I got I can actually drive right now. So got to make sure you hit the bell. There you go. Yeah, you got to hit the bell. But even then, the best thing you can do is come back and check my channel. Yeah, hit the bell, subscribe, bang the bell, click all. But you still ought to come back and check periodically. Also, another thing is usually on the left screen on the home page on YouTube, it'll show you who's live. Usually, maybe not entirely. So check it out. Fort Jackson memories. Oh yeah, Tank Hill, Boat Hill, all that. Let's see. Guns and Gadgets is shadow too. Oh yeah, your conservative channels are what gets shadow banned. It's the ones that talk conservative stuff. If you're not on the conservative side of the spectrum, they'll promote the devil out of you. So it is what it is. So that's why, I need to do more content that's kind of dead center, just so they'll knock me out. Dire Straits. That's a band, right? All right. The 2-ton Greg should have had a 366. Yeah, the 2-ton. Yeah, I've not cranked it up in a bit. I need to fire that puppy up. Hope I haven't get the motor getting froze up. I haven't ran it in a little while. Ran last time I ran it. They threatened by you because you're a worm farmer or because you're a rocket scientist. Maybe that's a combination they can't handle. Yeah, I once did a video where I did a spreadsheet and was talking details on numbers, and one of the chatters come in and says, "Oh, I'm not listening to the numbers and math from a worm farmer." Oh yeah, you don't know who you're talking to. My collegiate sport was math. I aced every math class I took at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Hey, Gabby! Salute! Thank you very much for that. Speaking of super chats, don't let YT win. Well, thank you. It's your 5th super chat in a live stream here in Swivelhead News. I appreciate that. Oh, they censor comments. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Yeah, folks, they're tough on us here. They're really tough. I don't talk anything radical. I'm not at all for any kind of violence. I'm not for civil war. I'm not for any kind of war. I'm anti-war. You'd think they would promote me. No. They stop. There's other channels that are conservative that they don't stomp as hard as me. And it may be because I started the Freedom Restoration Foundation, or Maybe it's because I'm both a rocket scientist and a little bit on the conservative side. I don't know. Maybe they're afraid if the people listen to me, they actually would listen to me. Maybe that scares them. I don't know, guys. But oh yeah, John, they're saying it's doing great. Well, I don't think that feeling is shared by the populace here in the country. I don't think that is held in high regard amongst the people. All right, guys, let's do that. Let's run a poll before we go. If you think the economy is doing great, put a 1 in the chat room. If you think the economy is not doing great, put a 2 in. This will be our final thing here. Conservatives that toe the line with the military industrial. You're right. That's it. I don't toe the line. That's the problem. Or if I was all talking about global warming, if I was saying, oh, look, climate's about to get us. Oh, yeah, they'd let me get away with everything else, probably. Probably let me get away with everything else. I just, the scientists I talk to don't tell me what they're telling me. We don't seem to have a lot of faith and confidence that the economy here is doing spectacular. Yeah, I'm hearing you guys. Y'all are loud and clear. You're not buying it. You're not buying Biden. All righty, folks. Oh yeah. Did you hear about Haley? She won the Nevada primary because for the Republican Party, but because in the primary, that's not where they make the delegate decisions in Nevada. It's in the caucus. But apparently, the category other got more votes than her. Strange business, right? All righty. We definitely need to do membership. So okay, Nightman's wife, I've got a bunch of hoops I got to jump through to set up memberships, like pick icons, pick levels, figure out how I'm going to support it, what I'll do extra. So that'll be coming maybe after I get settled down into Arizona. Now I do have my supervisor still from my job, which I'm not working at right now. They never fired me. They officially put me on part-time, but they give me no work. So I'm not working right now. But he called me today and says, hey, we got a job, but unfortunately it would probably require me to move and be on location, and it's at NASA Ames. So I'd have to interview for it. He's wanting to know if I want to do it. I'm not really so sure about it. It's because it's in California. It's between San Jose and San Francisco. So, and that would be going there would really distract me from trying to sell this place and trying to set up in Arizona, because it would really, I got so much work to do all that. It would be extremely difficult for me to do that. Considering where the world's at today, I'm not sure. Yeah, he said they'd make it worth my while, like they would give me extra pay or something. So I said, look, it's a lot more expensive in California. So I don't know. I'll look at it. I might entertain it, but somewhat less than absolutely enthusiastic about it. Just because of where it's at, and just it would really torpedo how I've been reshaping my plans. Yeah, I might make a little money for a while, but I don't know, guys. It's kind of scary, especially the thing going on in the world today. I really want to be in my bug out location, living there, and I got a lot of work to make that happen. Yeah, Colorado Jan, it's a little bit worrisome. Work would probably be interesting, but I don't know. Who's helping you pack? Well, nobody right now. I'll probably get a little help on some of it, but anywho, there we go. Both countries, yours and mine, couldn't pay me to go there, said VidCom. Well, they'll have to really entertain me a lot to get me to do it. I don't know. I'm just not keen on that idea. Now, if I could work remotely like I've been doing last year, yeah, I'd probably go for it. But having to go there, that's right. I used to know the guy who was the center director there, and I can't remember his name right now. He was a Air Force general, retired. He was on my policy committee, the National Space Society. General, I can't remember his name right now. He was the center director at Ames. It'll come to me later. I just can't think of it at the moment. An ordinary people's government with no self-interest. That'd be interesting. That means they wouldn't have a bureaucracy and all the trappings we got in this country. The Rocket Man needs to stay in the Rocket City. Well, I'm probably leaving the Rocket City, guys. Anyway, but anyway. Greg needs a female squash to help him pack. A squash? You mean a squaw? Is that what you're trying to say? A squash. Squash are male and female, by the way, as are tomatoes and a lot of stuff like that. Yeah. Squash coming male and female. Anyway, you meant to say squaw, didn't you, Larry? We wrestle not against the flesh and blood, systems and high places. That's true. Anyway, guys. Well, look, I got to go. It is late. I still got to take out the garbage. I got to do some processing with this video. It'll be an hour and a half before I get in bed. It's already 4:20, so we're talking 6 in the morning. So I'll just have a little nap, and I got to be up and at it again. Yeah, Arnold. Well, they don't want to hear that stuff, Arnold. At least it didn't suggest, oh, Lord. Lordy, folks. Loudy, loudy, loudy. All righty. Hey, I really appreciate everybody. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Y'all shared a lot of links tonight. I appreciate that. Check out the Discord channel. Check out Freedom Restoration Foundation. Check it out on Facebook. We'll probably put that on Discord. I may set up a whole nother server for that. It might need to be to itself. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. I'll have to listen to the good advice of the folks that's highly experienced on that platform, like Alaska Soul. And we'll have more stuff coming at you guys. So once again, thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods, and thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to share my videos, comment below, like. If you're not hit the like button, hit it on the way out. And squash for Sasquatch. Oh, a Sasquatch. Yeah, I could probably use a Sasquatch. They could be big and strong. It could lift stuff. I don't know if I want to get too cozy with a female Sasquatch, though. It's a female Squatch. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you meant, male stray kitten. Yeah, a Squatch might be real handy, but I hear they stink. They call in this neck of the woods, they used to call them skunk apes. So yeah. Once again, thank you everyone. Y'all take care and have either a good night or a good morning to one and all, wherever you're at. Whatever works for you. Or some of you are in the afternoon, I guess. We got people all over the world watching. So I really appreciate that. We're worldwide.